All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are live from Clover Stadium in Pomona, New York. CSI Sports Night is welcoming you into coverage of NCAA Division II baseball, streaming exclusively on Flow College. In the opener of a four-game East Coast Conference series this upcoming weekend, the College of Staten Island Dolphins will take on the Spartans of St. Thomas Aquinas College. Good evening, everybody. My name is Nicholas Pavona. I'm going to be joined shortly by...
hitter, number 3, Anthony DeMarco.
I will be joined shortly by my broadcast partner, Joe Foreman. Right now, we are dealing with a camera issue here in Pomona, New York at Clover Stadium. We're trying to get those cameras up. So for the time being, we're just going to be audio only at this current moment. Joe right now is attending to the cameras that we currently have set up. And for the time being, I will bring you the coverage so far of this game between the Dolphins and the Spartans. So far, Ryan Hillary was the first batter. He flew out to center field. CJ Cumbo was the second batter. He flew out to right field. We'll give you the starting lineups for each team in just a moment as well. Mikey first on the mound for the Dolphins. That one's hit into right center field. That one's going to be a gapper. Could be extra bases on the play for DeMarco, but he'll take the wide turn at first base and get a two-out single.
The catcher, number 44, Michael Zeiss.
All right, so it looks like we have one of our cameras now ready, so I think we can get to that camera. That's going to be our camera from behind the plate. So we have that one ready. The other one's still not working at the current moment. That first pitch in there for a ball. 1-0 the count. This is Michael Zeiss at the plate for the Spartans. Check the run over at first base. He's back in safely. Another throw over to first base, but back in safely was DeMarco. Another long look in here from first. It throws second pitch of the at-bat, and it's fouled up behind the play, 1-1 the count. When I have a moment, I'll give you the numbers as well for both Mikey first as well as the batter at the plate, Michael Zeiss. As they once again check DeMarco over at first base. He's back in safely. For first on the year, this will be his 6th appearance of the season, his 5th start. 18 innings pitched, 25 hits, 16 runs, 12 earned, 11 walks, 17 strikeouts. An ERA at an even 6 on the season. That one almost hits the batter at the plate. Runs inside. The count now goes 2-1. Another long look in here. The count is 2-1. That one misses on the inside, looks like. Count now 3-1. For Michael Zeiss this season, he's having a really strong start to the 2026 campaign. .375 batting average, 5 home runs, and 16 RBIs on the year. A huge reason why Stack is off to a good, strong year in conference play is once again, first throws over to first and checks the runner DeMarco. DeMarco on the year does have 7 stolen bases. Has only been caught once. So he is a dangerous threat. The 3-1. That one swung on a miss. Count full of 3-2. So DeMarco will get a head start here on this upcoming 3-2 pitch. Zeiss able to get something into the gap and maybe bring him home from first base. And that one fouled off behind the plate. Count still full at 3-2. There goes DeMarco. And again, foul behind the plate. And it looks like we just got the other camera up and going, so Be able to go to that one in a second, but it seems to have been just cut off for a second. That's still rebooting up at the moment as we speak. Another 3-2 pitch. DeMarco will go once again. There he goes. And Zeiss swings and misses for strike 3. Mikey first gets out of the first inning with a strikeout, and that will retire the side. We will head to the bottom of the first inning, where the Dolphins come to bat for the first time tonight against the Spartans. And we are back for the home first inning here from Clover Stadium in Pomona, New York. Dolphins coming to bat for the first time tonight as they take on the Spartans at St. Thomas Aquinas College. Once again, my name is Nicholas Bavona. I will be joined at some point by my broadcast partner, Joe Foreman. We are currently dealing with a camera issue for our pitcher-batter camera. That is going to be used at some point tonight, but we'll have to move the location of the current camera to a different spot here at Clover Stadium. So while Joe attends to that, I'll be on the call for now as Jamel Vera, the leadoff hitter for the Dolphins, hits that one foul. The count goes to 0-1. On the mound tonight for the Spartans is Andrew Scholes. I'll give you his numbers in just a moment. So that one misses on the inside. Count now 1-1. For Scholes this season, this is going to be his 6th appearance, his 6th start. He is 1-1 through 25 innings pitched, 36 hits, 21 runs, 14 earned, 4 walks, 16 strikeouts. As that one misses for a ball, now count 2-1. Vera hits that one foul down the left field line. Count now even to 2. From first to third for the Spartans tonight, you have Kyle DeCrest, Ryan Hillary. Over at shortstop is Nick Olcher. At third base is C.J. Cumbo. As Vera hits that one chopper up the middle, going to be a tough play over at short for Olcher. Not in time, as Vera gets an infield single.
The second baseman, number 3, Michael Flashner.
So Michael Flasher now comes up with a runner on first and nobody out as Jamel Vera gets an infield single. The rest of the defensive alignment here tonight for the Spartans, you have out in right field. That'd be number 30, Joshua McCormick. Out in center field is number 26, Charlie Cordisco. And out in left field is number 22, Alex Solero. Maybe the Dolphins lineup in just a moment as Michael Flashner gets to start at second base. He'll be batting second as well in the Dolphin lineup. As they throw over to first base, Vera back in safely. Vera led off the game. He's in center field. Batting behind him is Michael Flashner. He's currently at the plate batting and second base, I should say. Batting third at first base is Jason Romance. Batting fourth, the designated hitter, number 27, Yandel Brito. Give it the rest of the lineup in just a moment as here comes the next pitch, or maybe not. Another throw over to first base. Batting fifth in right field is Jack Keogh. Batting sixth in the left field is Jaden Waterman. Batting seventh behind the plate, Ryan Ortega. Batting eighth at third base is Vincent Weigel. And batting ninth at shortstop is Brandon Bardick. That's the first official pitch to Flasher, misses low and outside, count 1-0. We certainly know Vera is a capable base runner here for the Dolphins. He's 6 for 9 this season in stolen base attempts. Right on cue, they throw it right back to first base. Just like we saw Mikey first back in the top of the inning, Scholes has paid heavy attention over at first base after Vera got the infield hit. The 1-0. In there for a called strike, 1-1. So it seems as if our second camera booted up, and now the other one went out. Cannot catch a break at the current moment, so we'll have to go to the new camera shot at this current moment. As Flasher hits that one on a hop towards short, they'll have one play over to first base. Did Flasher beat the throw? He did. Ulcher's throw was a bit too high, and Flasher reaches first base safely.
The first baseman, number 22, Jason Romance.
I think that one's going to go down as a base hit right there for Flashner. That one was a soft pop hit ball towards second base. And on the play, Flasher was able to beat the throw out on a high throw by Ulcher. I think even if it wasn't a high throw, he certainly would have been safe. Jason Romance now at the plate. He takes that first pitch for a strike. The count goes to 0-1. The 0-1. Misses high for a ball, 1-1 to count. Still trying to attend to those camera issues right now. The camera we originally had working, now that one is going in and out. As Romance hits that one foul down the first base line, the count now goes to 1-2. Some early trouble here for Scholes. Romance coming off a nice performance in the Dolphins' most recent doubleheader. As they throw to second, they got Vera in a pickoff. Vera still running towards second. Did they get the tag? They did not. We missed it, unfortunately, at the very tail end, but Vera does get back in safely. They had Vera caught over at second base, and he was somehow able to avoid the tag, I believe, by Ulcher on that play. So the Dolphins do not get picked off. They still have first and second, still nobody out. A chance here for Romance, count still 1-2. And Romance hits that one foul behind the plate. Time called down the third base line. Connectivity just continues to be a problem, unfortunately, at this moment. Try to see if we can maybe fix it, but at this current moment right now, our wide shot camera continues to go out. The camera down the third baseline was good for a moment, but now it seems like it's having a couple current pauses as well. We'll have to see if we can fix that. If not, we'll have to maybe go audio only at some point in this game. But for now, it's Romance at the plate, still count 1-2. Romance hits that one down the first base line. Only one play will be the step over to first base. And they will get the 3 unassisted force out right there. Dolphins now have second and third, 1 out.
The designated hitter, number 27, Yandel Brito.
And with all of us crammed here in the press box once again, you get to hear the wonderful, wonderful PA introductions from Joseph Calabrese during our PA introductions here tonight. Louis Matrone did, though, a nice job as well in our pregame while Joe was going to help Joe Foreman setting up our cameras tonight. As Brito hits that one deep into center, long run out into center field, but the catch is made. Both runners will advance at base. The Dolphins will get a sacrifice fly off the bat of Yandel Brito, and they lead this game now 1-0.
The right fielder, number 38, Jack Kehoe.
Great play out in center field by Charlie Cordisco. He robbed Brito of extra base hits on that play. If not for that catch, the Dolphins could have gotten 2 runs in, and Brito certainly could have been over at third base with a triple. Now 2 gone in the inning. Jack Kehoe at the plate takes a first pitch strike, 0-1 the count. Yeah, if you're Scholes here, if you only give up the 1 run on that play, and you only allow it here in this first inning, I think you'll certainly take it at this current point. The 0-1. In on the inside, 1-1 now the count. Scholes with a long look towards the plate, the 1-1. Kehoe hits a dribble over to second. Hillary is there. He'll throw it on to first base in time, and that will retire the side. Dolphins do strand a runner here in this first inning, but they do get a run home as we head to the top of the second. Dolphins lead at 1-0. Joshua McCormick will lead off here in the top half of the second inning. Dolphins now lead this game 1-0 off a sacrifice fly by Yandel Brito. Our second camera now currently is up at this current moment. A little bit of a wider shot based off of where we had our original camera angle, but this will have to do for now at the current moment. Count is 0-1 here for Mikey first. That one a little bit too close for comfort here at the press box. As that one hit foul, the count goes to 0-2. It'll be 5, 6, and 7 up here in the inning for the Spartans. So that one just missed on the outside corner now, 1-2 the count. One, two misses in the dirt now, count even at 2. That one chopped toward the Spartan dugout, and the count remains even. Here comes the 2-2 from first. That one just missed. Count now full of 3-2. Well, we don't have the windows open here in the press box, but I'm certain the Dolphin faithful are not happy with that last call. Different angle here from in the press box, but it didn't look like that one missed by much. As that 3-2 is hit a mile high, foul territory, and Romance will make the catch out down the first base line for the first out of the inning.
The first baseman, number 24, Kyle DeCrest.
Kyle DeCrest now about here with 1 gone in the inning. DeCrest getting the start over at first base here tonight. And we lost the camera again. Current moment just pixelated, but I'm going to be joined in a moment by Joe Foreman.
All right, Nick. So typically we have run one wireless camera and one wired camera. We have a damaged receiver. It's been damaged now for the last 2 seasons. We cannot see what channel that receiver is picking up a signal on. And I think what's happening is the 2 cameras are interfering with one another, which is what's causing the pixelation. I move them a bit closer. We may have to go down to 1 camera because, as you know, Nick, we arrived a bit later than we would have liked. Not every member of the crew was able to get out and on the road as early as we wanted, so we had to wait. It was a long ride up as well, about an hour and a half, so we got here much later than we wanted to. I just changed the channel on one of the 2 receivers, and it appears the picture has stabilized a bit, but we may just take 1 camera down for the rest of the broadcast if we have more issues and go with the wide shot. Originally, we were down behind home plate on field level with a shot of the full complex, and we had a camera in the outfield for pitcher and batter. And it looked like it was working for about a minute or 2, and then not so much. So I'll continue to monitor. I appreciate you taking over on the call for me, and hopefully I can rejoin you shortly.
All right, thank you, Joe. We'll see if those issues are fixed in just a few short moments, as right now the count is even at 2-2 for Kyle DeCrest. Two from first. Drilled on the first base line, but foul. The count will remain even at 2. Here goes another 2-2. That one hit towards Weigel. Weigel makes the play and the catch for the second out of the inning.
The center fielder, number 26, Charlie Cordisco.
Charlie Cordisco now comes up with 2 gone. Guess the only beauty right now being all of us being in the same room is if I am ahead of the order, at least I think I am, I just have to wait for Joe Calabrese to make the announcement. So I can't possibly screw that up. Can't possibly screw that up. Cordisco, the batter here with 2 gone in the inning. He's batting 7th in the lineup tonight. He drills that past Weigel into left field for a base hit. So Cordisco's on with another 2-out single. Second straight inning, the Spartans get one. And we'll see if they can do something here with 2 gone.
The left fielder, number 22, Alex Solero.
Alex Solero now comes up with 2 gone. He now has a runner over at first base. That first pitch missed for a ball, count 1-0. Gotta say, the weather is starting to get to me right now. It's a bit hot in here. That 1-0 in there for a strike count, now even at 1. Look over to first base. And that one hit the batter right there. So the inning will extend here for the Spartans. As Solero's hit by the pitch.
The shortstop, number 5, Nick Ulcher.
Nick Ulcher will come up to bat. Having a great start to the season, but Joe, I'm sure you have something to say?
All right, Nick, we are going to head outdoors in between innings.
Okay.
We're way too tight in the press box, and the wireless signal is not reaching us, even though the receivers are on the correct channel. We cannot open the windows. They are locked shut. So, Nick, you and I will have to go outside. There's really no other option, as that one gets to the backstop, and both runners will advance. So the Spartans now have 2 in scoring position with 2 outs here in the road second. And, Nick, I know you touched on it already. It is a Dolphins home game tonight. We are here for a single 9-inning game this evening, followed by a single game on Sunday. That game has been rescheduled, moved up to 5 p.m. on Sunday. So the original start time of 6 p.m. has become 5 p.m. for the game on Sunday.
That first wild pitch made it 1-0 the count here on Ulcher. He hits that one towards second. Flashner is there. Those are on to first base in time. And the Dolphins get out of the jam as the Spartans strand 2 runners here in the top half of the second. Joe and I will be back momentarily. Dolphins come to bat in the bottom half of the second, leading 1-0. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back here from Clover Stadium. I will be joined by Joe Foreman shortly. Right now, we're still addressing our camera issue. So for the time being, back to audio only. The Dolphins now have a 2-0 lead in this game. It was an RBI single off the bat of Vincent Weigel. As Brandon Barter took that first pitch for a strike. Count goes to 0-1.
Check for the cameras before. You're missing one. You're missing the one that's connected.
0-1. Barter hits that one up the middle. That one's through for a base hit. Coming in to score is Ortega. As Barter delivers an RBI single, the Dolphins now have a 3-0 lead. Jamel Vera now comes up. The Dolphins with now a 3-run lead here in the bottom half of the second. 3 runs on 6 hits. A strong start to this game for the CSI offense. First pitch to Vera in there for outside ball. We'll count 1-0. Vera crushes that one deep right center field. That one is gone. It is a 3-run homer off the bat of Jamel Vera. Dolphins lead extends to 6. It's 6-0 CSI. Vera just getting it over that short porch out in right center field. And he connects with a 3-run blast to give CSI now a 6-0 lead in this game. How about this start for CSI in this game? Almost an eerily similar start to the Dolphins had this past weekend out in Queens in their matchup with D'Youville. Vera in that game had a grand slam. He now has a 3-run homer tonight as Michael Flasher takes that first pitch for a strike. Count goes to 0-1. Flasher hits that one a mile high, shallow left field. Ultra racing back, and he'll make the catch for the first out of the inning. So Scholes had to deal with a lot of work here in this second inning. That was his first batter retired in the inning, and that will now bring up Jason Romance. First pitch to Romance. In there for a strike. Count goes to 0-1. Oh, 0-1 to Romance. He hits that one a mile high. Shallow center field. Ulcher again racing back. And this time that might be Ryan Hillary that made the catch. And that was indeed Ryan Hillary, the second baseman. He's the one that makes the catch out in shallow center for the second out. So after allowing the 3-run homer, back-to-back outs recorded by Scholes. And that'll bring up Yandel Brito with now 2 gone. Brito was responsible for the first Dolphin run of this game. A long sacrifice fly out to left center field. First pitch to Brito. That one hit foul towards the plate. Count goes to 0-1. Just a quick note here, just a few short moments after this half inning is over. We'll have to reboot one more time, and then we should hopefully be good for the rest of this game. Count quickly 0-2 here on Brito. Scholes looking for a punch out to retire the side. On the outside, count goes to 1-2. Once we are situated, we'll be able to get the strike count as well as the bases back up on our scoreboard. 1-2. Brito hits that one down the third baseline. It's a fair ball. Throw over to first base is a low one, but it is scooped over at first, and that will retire the side. But not before the Dolphins bring home 5 runs here in the second. The brunt of it, I should say. A 3-run homer by Jamel Vera. His 3-run blast gives CSI a 6-0 lead. We'll be right back after this. Ryan Hillary will lead it off here in the top half of the third inning. His team now trails this one 6-0. Jamel Vera with a 3-run homer back in the bottom half of the second has now given CSI a 6-0 lead in this game. It also looks like both of our cameras are back up and running, so I'll be joined by Joe Foreman momentarily as Hillary starts off this third inning getting plunked by the pitch, and he's on first base. So not the ideal way you want to get on first to start the inning, but Hillary does reach first via the hit by the pitch. CJ Cumbo now comes up to the plate. It's a big reason why the Spartans were able to get one of those 2 doubleheader wins, or I should say one of the 2 wins against the Dolphins earlier on this season. His go-ahead 2-run homer when the Spartans trailed 6-5. Allowed Stack to go up 7-6. They went on to win game 1 10-6. They checked the run over at first base. He's back in. Again, they check back over at first base, but Hillary back in safely. First looking over to first base, the next upcoming pitch. It looks like that one just missed on the outside. Count now goes to 1-1. Check it back over to first base was first. Once again, getting back in safely was Hillary. Big swing and a miss right there off the bat of Cumbo. Count now goes to 1-2. Cumbo now in a 1-2 count. Once again, reaching back in safely was Hillary. First, paid him a lot of attention in this at-bat so far with Cumbo. A long look over to first base. 1-2. Cumbo hits that one into left center. On the run is Waterman, and he holds on to it and makes the catch for the first out of the inning. Well, Vera and Waterman both lost their hats on the play. Not the first time we've seen that, but it is Waterman that comes down with it for the first out of the inning. At the plate now, Anthony DeMarco. He reached first base last time on a single. As once again, going over to first base, back in safely was Hillary. Pitch to DeMarco. Drills that one down the right field line and foul. Wicked hop off of one of the buildings over here. Count now 0-1, and unfortunately Joe's papers are flying away, just giving him too much problems right now. Good thing Sam was here.
Good thing.
That one drilled down the left field line and foul. Joe, we're going to have to keep our head in a swivel over here down the third base line.
I'm going to have to keep myself grounded up here on the booth, on the perch. All right.
Now, I think at some point we also might have to fix our mixer because I'm only hearing you through talking, not through our headset.
Well, that means that your phone's cable is not plugged in, and I can see it is not.
Yep. As that one hit into left field. That's a base hit off the bat of Anthony DeMarco. Hillary will stay over at second base. But now the Spartans have first and second, still just one out in the inning.
All right, Nick. So to give our audience a brief rundown of what happened tonight, we departed from Staten Island at about 4:45, had about an hour-and-a-half trip. We would have left sooner, but we needed the final member of our crew to get off work. Nick can now hear me, which is great. We arrived here at Clover Stadium around 6:15. We tried to incorporate a center field camera tonight as that first pitch is fouled back. 0-1 the count. At the plate here, Michael Zeiss. Zeiss bats with 2 on and 1 out here in the road third inning. The Dolphins jumping out to an early 6-0 lead. And Nick, thank you for taking our audience through that via voice. But to elaborate just a bit more on the attempted setup, we wanted to put a camera in center field. We were out there at about 6:40, scheduled to go on air at 6:50. There was no power in center field. We put the camera in the right field corner and got back up to the press box just before first pitch. However, we did not receive any wireless signal, or at least not a stable one, from our cameras downstairs, as that pitch is taken just off the plate. 2 balls and 1 strike on Zeiss. But once we realized that our signal was going to be a problem, we abandoned the setup downstairs. You and I are now on the perch outside the press box, seated among our 2 cameras, doing the game outside.
Yeah, it's a beautiful night, though, Joe, for it.
Perfect night. Perfect night to call a game outdoors, as that is swung on and missed. 2 balls and 2 strikes, the count on Zeiss, but that's how our night's going. And so far, Nick, the night's going pretty good for the Dolphins. Mikey first, hoping to keep it that way. The Dolphins with a 6-run lead, but the Spartans are threatening here in the third with just 1 out. Their cleanup hitter at the plate fouls back another, and it remains 2-2.
Joe, I mentioned it before while you were fixing our cameras. I said this kind of felt like somewhat similar to the first game we saw against Deauville this past weekend. The Dolphins jumped out in that game to a 10-0 lead, the big brunt of that being the grand slam from Vera. They jump out to a 6-0 lead, the big brunt of that being a 3-run homer from Vera.
Another 2-2 upcoming from first, and again it's fouled back. But you said it, Nick, the Dolphins jumping out to an early lead. Jamel Vera providing the big spark offensively once again. But you mentioned that game in Deauville, and there is no lead that is comfortable in East Coast Conference baseball. These teams can hit. These teams play a lot of high-scoring games. You take nothing for granted.
And I'm glad you brought that up, Joe. When we have a moment, I'll bring up the numbers for Stack on the season. We were going to talk about that in the pregame, but Stack, a big reason why they are at the top of the ECC has been what they've been doing at the plate this season.
Well, in that first game against CSI earlier, I'm sure you touched on it at some point before I joined the broadcast.
I don't think I was able to.
Okay.
Maybe I did. I couldn't remember, though.
The Spartans did come from behind to win that game. The Dolphins had a lead. And the 3-2 is off the plate. Or,
in their first strike.
Well,
that was a very delayed strike 3 call.
I thought they appealed. I thought they appealed to the infield umpire. Well, no, I thought the home plate umpire pointed.
It was a joke.
Okay, well.
With MLB opening day today, the ABS.
I did see an ABS, man.
Yeah.
What a start for me, huh?
And in fairness to you, I would have done the same thing. But
okay.
It was a very delayed strike 3.
And there's a high pop-up on the infield. It is going to be playable in foul ground. And Vincent Weigel has it to retire the Spartans in the road third. Stack strands a pair on base and remains trailing by 6. The Dolphins lead it 6-0 as they come to bat in the bottom of the third. Jack Kehoe will lead off for the Dolphins in the bottom half of the third inning, and he takes low and away for ball one.
Joe, if there was ever an opportune time for you to get a second foul ball, tonight could be the night.
We don't want me to get a foul ball
Well,
tonight because there are too many cameras around.
All right, so how about in the spot where I am? It's in between everything.
Well,
I know the laptop.
That's still way too
still close
Nick.
for comfort.
We do not want a foul ball tonight. And as we say that, Kehoe fouls one back toward the press box. But
maybe I'll just stop talking about it.
We spoke about it the other day covering softball. My catch, it's top contender for play of the year at the Finneys.
Of course.
But regardless of whether or not I win, I had a chance to make it two the other day.
And I think today is a little bit tougher considering
it's a baseball.
The angle we're at, and it's a baseball, yeah.
Well, for it to get up here, it would have to be hit pretty hard. But
yeah,
you know I'm going for it, Nick.
Yeah.
100%.
You know I am, too.
I agree. You know,
first protect the equipment and then go for it.
Throw yourself at it.
Yes.
If you have to dive on top of the laptop, you do it.
As long as I don't break it.
Well, you might roll away with it. It's on a movable cart.
Hey, you know what? For all being said, this is very helpful right now.
Yeah.
Because this
we
would have been a struggle.
A cart on wheels located up in the press box. It is our mobile setup right now, and it looks great.
Might have to take this for our off.
Might have to come home with us.
Yeah,
you never
might
know.
have to come home.
And Kehoe takes ball four. So it's a leadoff walk to begin the bottom half of the third inning. And the Dolphins put the leadoff batter on. And returning to the mound for the third inning is, I want to make sure I get the pronunciation correct.
I've been saying Scholes.
Well, it is listed on.
It's just like shoes.
Well, Dr. Scholes.
Scholes,
That is correct, Andrew Scholes. Want to make sure I get that correct, but I was going to say he's back out for the third, and it may be a brief stint on the rubber in this third inning. We'll see if they go to the bullpen here. There is action in the stacked bullpen down the right field line, but this doesn't look like a pitching change conversation. It looks like
might just be giving more time for those relievers.
It looks like they're talking strategy with the runner on first and a potential bunt upcoming in this spot. And Nick, I think it's safe to assume the Dolphins probably bunt here.
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah. And up 6, I would.
Yeah.
I would.
Well, as you mentioned, for what we saw unfortunately happen to them last week, no lead realistically is safe. So if you can get an opportunity to get any more runs and you have to get a sacrifice bunt to get your runner into scoring position, you take that chance.
Well, they're holding the runner on at first. At third, Cumbo's playing about halfway. He's not all the way in, though he's creeping there, and they'll check on Kehoe at first base. But I think the reason you probably bunt here is because behind Waterman, you have a red-hot Ryan Ortega who already has a hit in this game. That being said, Jaden Waterman has a hit in this game already, the number 6 hitter in the lineup for the Dolphins. And behind him, 7, 8, 9, all 1 for 1. And who needs to bunt, Nick? You can double down the line instead. That ball rolls into the left field corner, and Kehoe will hold it third.
Nice job, piece of hitting right there by Waterman on that one, Joe. And yeah, I don't know what we're talking about. Who needs to bunt when you can get an extra base hit on that play?
Who needs to bunt? The Spartans were certainly expecting that a bunt could be coming, and with third base drawn in, Nick, there was no chance to make that play along the line, and even if he had been at standard depth, I don't think Cumbo had a shot.
Yeah, no chance right there, especially with what we've seen from Waterman over the years. It would have been a really tough play over at third base. Now a great opportunity for Ortega.
Infield in for the Spartans as Ryan Ortega takes off the plate for ball 1. As I mentioned before, the bottom 4 hitters in the Dolphins order all had a base hit their first time up. And Ortega, he gets on the hard way, hit by the pitch, and that will load the bases.
Now Weigel comes up. So the only problem with us being out here is I can't, now I'm a batter ahead. I made that joke beforehand.
There are worse issues to have, like no video feed.
Yeah, that's true. And no AC.
Well, it is a really, really tough time in there for our crew, I have to say.
They will probably, so I made the joke that they might have to do and go to the other room in between half innings. Because where Pat's situated, there is AC in that room.
Huge swing there by Vincent Weigel at the first pitch, 0-1. Weigel had a 2-homer day against the Uville playing at Queens last weekend. And
still feels weird to say that.
Yeah, we've gotten some more clarity in terms of scheduling, Nick. We don't head on the road again for a bit. Next weekend, we are at CSI to cover softball. Baseball will be at Mercy. Mercy is going to staff those games as Weigel hits one on one hop to short. They get the out at second, and Weigel is tagged out racing up the line at first. Now, did he know that ball bounced?
I don't know if he did.
A run does come in to score, but the Spartans will certainly take 2 outs in exchange for a run. And he was running, so it looks like he did know that ball bounced. He hit it hard, but it was fielded nicely on one hop over at short.
That was Ulcher over there at shortstop that made the catch, or shoot to the play to get the double play.
And that's going to be all for Andrew Scholes. So with 2 outs and a runner on third, Scholes will come out of the game. Dolphins now lead it by 7 as we play in the bottom half of the third. We'll be right back following this pitching change. Brandon Bardick to the plate for the Dolphins with 2 outs here in the third inning. Waterman, the runner, over at third, doubled earlier in the frame. And Bardick takes high 1-0. Dolphins lead this one 7-0 as we play on in the third inning. Mikey First with 3 shutout innings under his belt thus far. And that is hit high in the air, right center field. Long run into the gap, and it's out of here. Watching it go is Cordisco in center. It's a 2-run homer for Brandon Bardick. The second Dolphins home run of the night puts CSI in front, 9-0.
And how about that one, Joe, for Bardick? He gets his first homer of the season, and in the same spot that we saw Vera earlier on get his get a home run in this game. And the Dolphins now with a 9-0 lead in this game. They get a home run from the top of their lineup and a home run from the bottom half of their lineup.
Boy, Nick, does the ball carry here.
Oh, it does. It does.
I thought Bardick hit it well, but initially I thought he got just under it, and that ball just kept going and going and going.
It's kind of that short porch in right center field. You can
Very true. Very true. It is only 403 to center, and I'd say that fence might be, what do you think, another 30 feet in on the angle?
I would say like 360 maybe, yeah.
Yeah. That was 2 or 3 rows deep, though. It was not a cheapie.
Yeah. Okay, no question about it.
Dolphins now lead it by 9. 9 runs on 9 hits in just 3 innings for CSI. And boy, Nick, does this score look awfully familiar.
It does. And if you're a Dolphin fan, I think you're noticing that is the exact same situation. And in those two games, we saw pretty much a home run derby between those two teams.
Dolphins and Saints put on a show in Flushing last weekend. The Dolphins earning a split of that doubleheader. The game prior to that doubleheader, the suspended game against Queens, saw 14 runs scored between the two teams, and more baseball to be played in that one.
And how fitting that you and I on the call again, and already 9 runs up on the board.
Nick, you know, you and I have called a lot of CSI baseball over the last several years, and the last 2 years we have seen a massive surge in scoring in the games we've called. You know, we've seen high-scoring games in the past. I've seen many, but these last 2 years have been something else. Here we'll get one more look at the 2-run homer by Brandon Bardick. That sends us to the 4th inning. The Dolphins now lead it 9-0. Fourth inning about to get underway from Clover Stadium. Kyle DeCrest will get things started at the plate for Stack. Mikey First back to the mound for the Dolphins. And that's a hard hit grounder through the middle for a base hit. First pitch of the inning sent right back where it came from. And the Spartans have the leadoff man on in the 4th.
Well, for the Spartans, they now trail this game by 9 runs. But as we mentioned, we saw last week the Dolphins not able to hold on to a 10-run lead for the Spartans. I think if there was ever a time to look at some of the, try to think about some of the game tape, it certainly would be that game right there.
Charlie Cordisco at the plate here. And Nick, going back to that Bardick home run for just a moment, the way Cordisco was chasing that baseball toward the wall and running in the gap, I don't think he believed that was going to clear the wall either.
There's a little bit of a breeze, so it does make sense.
Yeah, I don't see. Oh, there are the flags in right center, and the wind is blowing that way, so it would make sense the ball carried in that direction.
And he treated Ricardo Gonzalez, who was the new pitcher that hitting his first at bat, a 2-run homer.
Didn't even get a chance to introduce the new Spartans pitcher.
Yeah.
He was introduced to Bardick with that one big swing.
Right.
The Dolphins leading it by 9. That hit to lead off the inning for DeCrest, the 4th of the game for Stack. Count 2-1 now on Cordisco. And they'll check DeCrest over at first. Now, early in the game, Nick, I was picking things up as I was sprinting up and down the stairs, setting up the cameras. But on the topic of checking on the runner and stolen bases, I noticed earlier in the game the Dolphins getting into a rundown as that pitch is taken up and in. You and I mentioned earlier in the year that the team has been a bit more aggressive on the bases than we would expect. After that rundown, or shortly after anyway, Mike Morrow called for time along the third baseline. Did you happen to notice if the double steal was on, or did Vera take off on his own?
I don't know if it was, Joe, because it looked like he was flat-footed as That one's still in the right center, but not deep enough.
Another towering fly ball, but Vera is there to make the catch. And there's one away in the inning.
Yeah, it looked like on that play he was a little bit caught off guard by the pickoff.
Okay.
But the fact that he even evaded the tag and was able to get back to second base is really incredible. Because on normal plays like that on a rundown, most of the time you're getting tagged down in that play.
Yeah, I was watching the rundown from the concourse, and you could tell as that play neared its end, the throw to second, it came a bit late, and that allowed Vera to avoid the tag.
And keep in mind, that was the first run of this game. If he got tagged out, the Dolphins would not have scored in that first inning.
Alex Solero at the plate here. There's a swing and miss, 0-1. For the Dolphins, 1 run in the first, 5 in the second, and 3 more in the third. And we mentioned as well, Nick, I think we did anyway, that Stack's offense really took it to D'Youville before the Dolphins faced the Saints, as that one's fouled away. But when the Dolphins and Spartans met earlier in the season, those were not excessively high-scoring games, much like many of the games that we've covered already. I'm not sure you and I have covered a game where one of the two teams did not score in double-figure runs.
I'm trying.
The second game in Malloy, did either team score double-figure runs? I think they did.
Yeah.
So the first game, both teams did.
Yeah.
The second game, the Lions did. That was the first game you and I did together, correct?
Yes.
Then in Flushing against D'Youville, both teams double figures in the first game, and the Dolphins double figures in the second game.
Yep.
CSI now 1 run away from reaching the 10-run mark here in this game. The first of 4 against the Spartans over the course of the next several days, as that's it out toward right center field. Long run, and getting there is Kehoe. Vera, who was backing up the play, lost his hat. And there are now 2 gone in the inning for the Spartans.
And a big reason why, Joe, the Dolphins also weren't able to get a lot of runs in those 2 games. You have to credit the stacked bullpen in those 2 games. They did not allow a single run in relief in the 2 matchups with the Dolphins. But here, the third matchup, the Dolphins getting a 2-run homer for their first runs off of the stacked bullpen.
Well, if you look back to that first meeting between the Dolphins and the Spartans, the stacked bats really came to life late in that game, but a big part of it and something that really jump-started the comeback was a critical error on the infield by the Dolphins in that game. As that one is grounded to the right side, and very quickly Nick Olcher is retired to end the top half of the 4th inning. The Spartans lead off the frame with a base hit. They strand 1. We head to the bottom half of the 4th. Dolphins on top, 9-0. Michael Flashner will lead off for the Dolphins in the bottom half of the 4th inning. CSI with a 9-run lead as Flashner swings and misses 0-1.
Talked about it earlier, too, Joe, while we were arriving to the stadium. That wall in center field, that Barr's eye, something very, eye-opening when you walk in.
And I think the first question that came to mind is you can actually switch the camera very quickly to see the batter's eye in center. But I'd be curious to know if you clear the yellow line directly to the left of the batter's eye, that attached wall, would it be a home run? I'd have to assume no, because the yellow line does not continue across the batter's eye.
Right.
And even though center field is 403, it effectively becomes 430, 440 with a wall that high.
Right.
So you're not really gaining any advantage in center field with the shorter fence. However, when you move into right center field, and especially down the right field line, then you begin to reap the benefits of a shorter porch. This is a very left-hand hitter-friendly ballpark. How far do you think it is down the line in the corner? It's not very far. It's 323 to left, so
yeah,
it might be 300 to 310 down the right field line.
Yeah, that is a very short porch in right field.
It almost makes me feel like I could.
You could.
I couldn't. That's opposite field, Nick. I don't have that kind of power. Grounded to second, and Flashner is out, one away.
Don't cut yourself short, Joe. You can do it.
Off a tee, maybe.
Maybe.
Jason Romance will come to the plate here. Romance 0 for 2. Surprisingly, Nick, 3, 4, 5 in the Dolphins' order, a combined 0 for 4 thus far.
Yeah. And I think, if you're, a Dolphins fan, that's at least encouraging. Yes, you would like to get those guys batting and hitting, but the fact that your bottom half of the order has been doing well so far, you're getting some hits off the top of your lineup as well, that's been a very encouraging sign for this team.
That being said, despite the 0 for 4, Yandel Brito has a sacrifice fly, and Jack Kehoe has walked and scored a run.
Yeah, Brito hit that one to probably, unfortunately, one of the worst parts of the park out of left center.
Well, that left center field fence presented no obstacle for Jason Romance the first time these two teams met in this stadium.
He would certainly love to have another one right here.
Romance ahead, 2 balls and 1 strike. And that's taken low, 3-1.
I also made that observation earlier, too, as well, the mini golf in right field.
Well, Nick, you and I were talking about where we might broadcast the game tomorrow. We could do the game
Sunday.
from up here. Right. That's a good point. I better not show up tomorrow. Ground ball toward the middle and through for a base hit. Romance on for the first time tonight. And once again, the Dolphins have a base runner with 1 out in this frame.
Yeah, it would be unfortunate if you showed up tomorrow. And
sure would. I'd be the only one here.
You would be the only one here.
The teams do not play tomorrow, though originally they were scheduled to play tomorrow.
Yes. As we'll get one more look at that last base hit off the bat of Romance.
You'll have to excuse me for my mix-ups on scheduling, Nick. It has changed so many times. As that one is bounced to the left side, they get the out at second, but that's all as Brito beats the throw to first.
So if I'm not mistaken, and I'll help you with it, you can help me with it, of course. Single today, off day tomorrow, doubleheader Saturday, single on Sunday.
Correct. And you and I are on the call Sunday.
Well, we'll see.
I am.
Depending on NCAA tournament results.
Well, you and I had hoped maybe to take a road trip tomorrow and
prices are just
cover the game.
Out of hand. That one's crushed.
Yeah, that's a rocket shot to straightaway center, but this time Cordisco has plenty of room, and it's a loud final out off the bat of Jack Kehoe to wrap up the 4th inning. We head to the 5th from Clover Stadium. Dolphins still lead 9-0. Top of the 5th inning about to get underway from Pomona, New York. Dolphins with a 9-run lead over St. Thomas Aquinas College. Mikey First back out for a 5th inning of work, and looked like for a moment there he might have lost his footing a bit.
I thought the same thing.
Yeah, it sure looked like he lost his footing on that delivery.
He still got a strike in there.
He'll take it. Those first pitch strikes, always a big boost to a pitcher, and First is now ahead 0-2. At the plate here, Ryan Hillary. Hillary 0 for 1 tonight.
And Joe, something that you and I could talk about now in terms of this first game, of obviously First right now still in the game for the Dolphins. The Spartans have already made a pitching change. Salamis is on the outside, 1-2. Is with the 4-game series here this week, you have a day off tomorrow. The Dolphins would love to get a couple of good innings out of First tonight so they could save some arms with the bullpen.
And something you and I were going to talk about during the pregame, Nick, we had our full pregame ready to go, and time just did not cooperate, nor did the technical components of our operation here. But speaking of something we were going to touch on during the pregame, this series is a 1-1 series. It's broken up a bit more as opposed to back-to-back doubleheaders as we've seen the last 2 weekends. How big of a difference maker is that for these two teams?
I think that's huge because instead of having to play, last week the Dolphins had doubleheader and then a doubleheader again, so not much rest. And you and I having to, decipher who was going to pitch for CSI in that 4th game. It really got to that point where who was realistically left for you. So that one looks to be foul and out of play. Romance giving it a run, but out of room. And I think you get the day off, too. I think that helps a lot also. But if you can get a good, strong start for First, if he can give you 6-7 innings, that will go a long way for CSI for the rest of the weekend.
Count 2 balls and 2 strikes on the Spartan second baseman. And Hillary hits one high in the air to straightaway center. But Vera is waiting underneath it to make the catch. 1 away.
A lot of real estate out there in center field.
There sure is. It is a very spacious outfield. I think when you cover a game at CSI, there really isn't much character to the outfield wall. It's just, perfect arc around the outfield fence. You have the very scenic view of the track and the dorms behind it. But the wall itself, not much character. Here, you have the short porch with the very low wall in right. You have the medium-sized wall in left. It gets a bit higher in left center. Then you have that monster batter's eye.
Right.
Then you have a wall a bit lower than left center in right center field with some more seating there. There is a lot of character to this outfield wall. 0-1 the count on C.J. Cumbo. Cumbo 0 for 2 tonight. And he takes out of the zone, 1-1. The 1-1. Hit sharply toward the left field corner and down for a hit. Waterman comes up throwing, and Cumbo hit that ball so hard that he will be held to just 1 base.
Yeah, it took a ricochet off of that left field wall, Joe. If it did not, he could have got into second base easily with a double. But because it did, Waterman able to play it off the bounce and throw it into the cutoff man and hold him to first base with a long single.
That one, an absolute rocket shot off the bat of Cumbo.
And speaking of that first game with these two teams, I mentioned earlier Cumbo being the big reason why Stack won. He had the go-ahead 2-run homer to give Stack a 7-6 lead at that point.
At the plate now, Anthony DeMarco. DeMarco 2 for 2 and make it 3 for 3. This could put Stack on the board. And they are going to hold Cumbo at third.
That's a great throw by Keogh on right field.
Sure is. I think he'd make a great pitcher. Oh, wait. I knew. But he's showing off the arm there. That's the arm of a closer right there, Nick.
Now, did you hear that, Joe?
Did I hear what? PG?
I think Joe Calabrese was trying to tell the room to be quiet. He said shush, shush, and then he made his announcement, but he was live. I heard him say shush.
I really wish I'd heard that.
I'm pretty sure I heard it.
Oh, and that
You can
one-
hear that.
Yeah, that one drills Zeiss.
Yeah, that hit him right on the top of the shoulder, Joe. That one's
Yeah.
definitely going to sting.
That sounded like it caught a lot of bone.
And, Joe, I hate to bring this up, but this is somewhat getting almost eerily similar to what happened against Deauville. A nice sizable lead for the Dolphins, but now bases loaded, still one out. If something happens here for Stack, if they're able to bring home a couple of runs, things could get interesting.
They're an extra base hit away from being right back in this game, Nick. 6 runs is nothing to dismiss, but there's still a lot of baseball left to be played, and we
Right.
saw what they were able to do last time they faced the Dolphins. So CSI, as I mentioned earlier, is not going to take anything for granted. They're swinging red-hot bats, and so far, there's no reason to believe that can't continue. That being said, Nick, you mentioned how well the Stack bullpen pitched in the first 2-game set between these two teams. If they can get that again, this game is far from over.
And if you look down to your left, Joe, the Dolphins do have a pitcher warming up in their bullpen as well. Can't really get for the number at
It's
the moment.
Aiden Kilty.
Okay. So it's Aiden Kilty. And I wanted to talk about the numbers for Stack on the season as well earlier, Joe. This team has been tremendous so far at the plate. They're hitting .310 as a team and have driven in 174 runs so far this season.
Big moment in this game. 1 out here in the road, 5th inning. Spartans with the bases loaded. And there is a first pitch strike to Joshua McCormick. 0-1.
Huge chance for McCormick, as you mentioned, with an extra base hit. Can really make things interesting here. Dolphins are, though, a double play ball away from getting out of the inning as well.
McCormick 0 for 2 at the plate tonight. The 0-1. Hit in our direction.
We're good.
And you could hear that one hit off the overhang above us. And I think it hit the train there, Nick. The little trolley out there at the base of the stairs. You could hear it. There was quite the thud. That did not sound like concrete. That's for sure.
Yeah, it might have been the train. Maybe we'll find a souvenir on our way out.
I think it definitely hit the train. I was tempted to take a ride around the complex, Nick. Not a lot of foot traffic tonight. Boy.
That was too close.
Well, how about that grab? Ryan Fiore off the bounce.
How about just hit it down the right field line?
How about we don't hit it this way?
How about hit it down the right field line? That'd be okay.
I mean, that one.
I saw my life flash before me for a second.
There's no way I could catch that, and there's no way that I could save the camera.
No chance. That just was a line drive.
Maybe we back the camera up as McCormick goes down swinging. That is a big second out for Mikey First and the Dolphins.
And if I maybe heard correctly, I think he foul tipped it. I heard a little bit of a contact with the bat, but it's still a strikeout nonetheless. Huge second out.
Kyle DeCrest at the plate. DeCrest 1 for 2 against First thus far. And you get the feeling, Nick, Stack cannot afford to come away empty-handed in this spot.
They almost didn't get empty-handed, but DeCrest almost hit by the pitch.
DeCrest almost got drilled on the hand.
Yeah. Well, you would like to get a run, but that would be the hard way to get it.
Yeah, I think, Nick, anything less than 2 here is disappointing if you're the Spartans. 1-0. Popped up.
That's playable.
Playable. Tailing fair. And caught by Flashner right along the line in shallow right field. A great job by Mikey First to strand the bases loaded. The Dolphins still lead it by 9. The shutout intact. We'll be right back for the bottom half of the 5th inning. Jaden Waterman at the plate for the Dolphins to begin the home 5th inning. CSI on top 9-0 as we play on from Pomona, New York. Joe Foreman on the call for at least the last 3 innings. Alongside Nicholas Pavona, it's nice to be settled in on our perch outside. Camera feeds nice and crisp. No interference the rest of the way. Also, Nick, I just realized we are on the wrong stream settings. So during the break, we'll give it a quick restart and just switch it over to BSB 1080-60. Or it'll be BSB flow. Make that switch. As there's a scorcher out toward left center field. That's down for a hit. And Jaden Waterman.
How about this game so far for Waterman?
He's on with his 3rd hit of the game to begin the home 5th.
Good old 3 for 3, as you like to call it right there, Joe.
Can't do any better.
Well, you could go 4 for 4.
Can't do any better in 3 at-bats, Nick. Nobody likes someone who's nitpicky. I know nothing about that.
No, you would never.
I would never.
You would never.
I would never. Just ask our crew. They know.
Yeah, they know.
They know. At the plate here, Ryan Ortega. He's quickly ahead 1-0. Ortega 1 for 1.
Our crew was making jokes before that we should ask Mike Morrow and company for extra helmets after that last foul ball.
They were making jokes that I don't give compliments.
Who said that?
I know, right? Nobody.
Well,
They're nobody.
I'm just trying to decipher who said it.
You know who said it. You were standing there.
I was?
Our SID said it.
Oh.
There's a swing and a miss by Ortega. 2-1.
That was at softball, I'm assuming?
That was an hour ago.
Oh.
Before the game started. So an hour and a half ago?
I don't remember hearing that.
Maybe you weren't in the room.
I might have been in the room.
Good block there behind the plate to hold Waterman over at first base. Zeiss had to block that one from going through the 5-hole. But it's now 3-1 on Ortega. Ortega was hit by a pitch earlier in the midst of the 3-run Dolphins' 3rd inning. And now he draws a walk.
There is action going up in the stack bullpen right now, but it's still Gonzalez for now that stays on the mound, but we'll see how long of a leash he has.
That will bring up Vincent Weigel. And I think if your stack, you would have been much more inclined to have a quick hook with Gonzalez in this inning if you scored 2 or 3 runs in the previous half inning. But coming up empty in that attempt to chip away, I think you're more inclined now to let Gonzalez have a bit of a longer leash.
Right.
You do have the off day before the doubleheader. As Weigel grounds one up the middle, base hit. Waterman being waved home. Ortega headed for 3rd, and he slides in safely. The ball gets away, and I believe they called it out of play.
Yeah, the ball hit him on the way to 3rd base, Joe.
It looked like the stop sign was on for Ortega at 2nd. May be able to see it on the replay, Nick, but I thought head coach Mike Morrow had the stop sign up for Ortega as he made his way toward 3rd. You see it here on the replay. It was a close play at 3rd. Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
It was a very quick stop sign.
Yeah. I think Ortega just assumed he had 3rd base off the bat and continued on through, but he got in there, and the aggressive base running helps the Dolphins extend their lead further. It's now 11-0 Staten Island.
The streak continues.
Brandon Bardick can make it 12 simply by putting this ball in play. Stack with the infield back here. 1-1 the count on the Dolphin shortstop. It's now 2-1. Action in both bullpens. We mentioned Aiden Kilty throwing for the Dolphins. We have no good view of the Spartans bullpen other than knowing that there is action. You can actually see that on your screen.
And also knowing that it's a right-hander.
That's true. As that one is drilled off the facing of the 2nd level.
Speaking also about Vincent Weigel, Joe, how about this last couple of weeks he's had? He's been a red-hot bat for this CSI lineup.
He is closing in on 100 hits. I think he needs 4 because his hits in the game against Queens are not yet reflected in the stats. So you'd have to go to his career page.
Yeah, I'm looking for him.
Yeah, he's there. So I believe he had 2 hits in the suspended game against Queens. Once that becomes official, I think he needed 4. So if you scroll down to the career statistics, he's at 94. You add the 2 hits from the Queens game. He entered the night at 96. He's now at 98. So he is 2 hits away.
And depending on how the next couple innings go, Joe, there's a potential he could maybe get it tonight.
Sure could. Bartek on with the walk, and I believe that's going to be all for Ricardo Gonzalez.
Yeah, I would think so.
And that indeed is all for the Spartans reliever. With that, we will step aside and take a break. It's a call to the bullpen for St. Thomas Aquinas. They trail by 11. The Dolphins on top 11-0, threatening for more with nobody out here in the 5th. Pitching change for the Spartans. We'll see Dylan Wilkinson come on. Now, Nick, I think it's possible that he's wearing a different number tonight because they had, in the live stats, Edwin Minaya listed as the pitcher.
Let's see that number, Joe, when he turns around.
31.
31.
Well, I can tell you right now, Dylan Wilkinson does not wear 31.
No.
So,
31 is Minaya.
okay. So they entered Dylan Wilkinson into the live stats. It is Edwin Minaya in the game. Who did they announce into the game?
I couldn't hear.
I think they announced Wilkinson into the game.
I thought they said Wilkinson also.
And I know they're using the same roster as we are, so I have no idea what's going on. I mean, we have to assume that it's Minaya in the game, right? Right?
Well, you know what happens when we assume.
Well, I think the only ones looking like rear ends are up in the press box right now.
Yeah, that would
They still have Wilkinson in the game, and they are scoring it. So they may have information that we don't. They probably have a line of communication with downstairs, so perhaps you're trying to eyeball it.
Yeah, I think they have it right.
Yeah?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Okay, good.
Just wearing Minaya's number.
Yeah, I think you're right, Nick. I can sort of make out the face based on the headshot. I think they got it.
Might
That's
have
it
another
high
one,
in the air to
Joe.
right center. Vera looking as if he thought it was leaving, but this time
Close.
Cordisco makes the catch. Vera thought he had it, Nick. He does, however, have an RBI and a sacrifice fly. And the Dolphins go in front 12-0.
That was almost another hit ball into that right center field porch, but he just got under it. That one was warning track power on that play. Long out number one.
That is a loud first out here in the home fifth inning. But now Dolphins lead it by 12. 12 runs, 12 hits. Michael Flashner at the plate takes high, ball one. Well, I'm certainly going to take a trip back into the booth following this half inning to find out where they got their information from, because we don't have it.
But do they know that we don't?
Sky high pop up on the infield. And the catch is made just behind second base by Hillary. 2 gone now. And Jason Romance will come to the plate. And, Nick, it's about that time. 2 outs, a runner on first, big lead. This is where you see some big swings. And Romance hit.
There's anyone to do it.
Romance hit a no-doubter, a towering shot over the left field wall last time he got some at-bats in this stadium. There's another nice block behind the plate to hold the runner at first.
We saw some no-doubters last week as well in Queens. Weigel had one. Romance as well had one, too.
The 1-0. Half swing by Romance, but it's a called strike. 1-1. Bardick, the runner at first, has a nice lead over there. Not going. And Romance takes high, 2-1. Aiden Kilty continues throwing in the Dolphins bullpen. Do you expect him to come on for the 6th, Nick? You think one more for first as that gets by Zeiss? And it gets a long way away. Bardick takes a big turn and will force a throw.
I don't think I've ever seen the ball go down the first base line on a wild pitch like that.
That took a bit of an awkward hop after Zeiss tried to block it.
I mean, you can see the backstop of where we are, and it kind of makes sense why it took a bounce like that.
DeCresh came up firing. If he doesn't throw there, or at the very least doesn't make a good throw, Bardick had thoughts of taking 2 bases. It's now 3-1 on Romance, first base open. And Romance hits one deep down the left field line. It is a rocket shot off the wall. That will score Bardick from second. And that is the hardest hit, perhaps longest hit, RBI single you will ever see. Jason Romance puts a dent in the left field fence and chases home Bardick to make it 13-0 Staten Island.
Hey, Joe, what's that exit velo on that base hit right there?
I need to know.
We need to know. You mentioned that was crushed. That one just getting out of the camera shot out in left field, but it rocketed off of that left field wall. If not, he had an extra base hit. It's a long RBI single.
That ball hit the fence so hard, you may have heard it over our microphones as Yandel Brito fouls one back, 0-1.
Well, he wanted another home run out into left field, and he was a couple of feet away from doing so.
I said it, Nick. 2 outs, 12-run game, just one man on, and the at-bat began with Bardick on first. You knew Romance was looking to take some big swings there. And the 3-1 count didn't hurt, as that's grounded to short, bobbled, and recovered. Bit of an awkward play there for Ulcher, but he secures it and steps on second to force out Romance and end the 5th inning. But not before the Dolphins score 4 more. They now lead it by 13. Our score, the Dolphins 13 and the Spartans nothing. Charlie Cordisco will lead things off for the Spartans in the road 6th. And he takes that one just below the number. Second hit batter for Mikey first. And could it be a quick hook here? Indeed it is.
It is, wow.
One pitch thrown by first in the 6th inning, and that will be all for the Dolphins right-hander. However, he puts together a very good start, goes 5, does not allow a run, scatters 6 hits, and Aiden Keelty will take over out of the Dolphins bullpen when we come back. It's Staten Island 13 and Stack nothing, top half of the 6th inning. And we are back from Clover Stadium where the Dolphins have brought on Aiden Keelty in relief. The first batter that he will face is Alex Solero. Now, I need my roster here, my roster and pronunciations. I know I got it right. I'm just trying to get all my paperwork. There we go. That one just off the corner, 1-1.
At least they're not flying away like they were earlier.
Well, I was reading it off the laptop, which is admittedly a bit far away. Much easier to read it off the roster. We did confirm during the break between innings that the information regarding the new Spartans pitcher in the last half inning came from downstairs. So Sam passed that along to the crew in the booth. Apparently that information was not need to know for the broadcast team. Just saying.
Is what it is.
Just saying. I take back everything nice I said during the pregame. 3-1 the count now.
What was that line you said earlier about compliments?
Apparently, I don't give them out enough, from what I was told. I think I give out plenty.
You know what? Now it's starting to click. Now I remember
It's
you
starting
saying
to come
it.
back to
Now
you?
I remember you saying it.
It's starting to come back to you.
It does seem like an eternity ago that you said that.
I will say, though, as that one is chopped foul toward the Dolphins' dugout, a compliment from me was equated to a great achievement in life. So, you're welcome. I'm a tough crowd. What can I say? I'm a tough audience. I'm the Simon Cowell of Athletic Communications. That's like vintage American Idol.
Yeah, vintage.
Yeah. Ground ball to short. Could be 2. They get one at second, and the throw to first is not in time. First out of the inning picked up on the force play at second. And Solero beats the throw to first. He exchanges places with Cordisco. And now Nick Ulcher will be the batter.
Kind of wild, Joe, that you get the number 9 hitter in your lineup. He's hitting over 450 coming into tonight's game.
That's pretty good. Looking for his first hit of the night here. And that's in for a strike, 0-1. A look toward first by Kilty as he comes set. Ooh.
Ooh.
Was that the window that our crew was in?
It was below the window.
But it was in
in
line with their position.
It was pretty much almost around that area.
The question is, what's the question?
Did
they
flinch?
That's right. See, I knew I could count on you. I sure hope not. I'll ask in between innings.
You know they're going to say no. They're not going to admit it.
Would they admit to it?
There's no way they would.
To be fair, Nick, the person who flinched would not admit it. However,
they
those who witnessed it, they wouldn't out one another?
I don't think they would. Stephanie would be the only one to admit it in terms of outing someone else.
So you don't think Lou or Joe would out anyone?
Stephanie would.
Okay. Ulcher looks at strike 3 there.
And I don't think she would take that as, a bad comment. I think she would also agree with that.
So Joe said that he got up to protect Stephanie on the foul ball. What a guy. Such a chivalrous man, Joe Calabrese.
No comment. No comment.
Okay. Ryan Hillary, the batter. And he looks at a strike, 0-1. Hillary 0 for 2 at the plate thus far. Bats with 2 outs and a runner on first. We have some bikers and roller skaters moving along the complex now.
Yeah. A lot going on.
There's a hard hit ball to straightaway right. Kehoe gets a glove on it and does keep it in front of him. The throw over the cutoff arrives at third. And the inning remains alive. It's a 2-out single for Ryan Hillary. And that puts runners on the corners with 2 away for C.J. Cumbo.
Yeah, he kind of trapped that ball into right field, Joe, because he would not have been able to make the catch even on that slide. And because of him able to trap that, he kept it in front of himself, was able to make a throw to third or at least hold the runner over at first and keep the runner from scoring over at third base. And as you mentioned now, we'll see if C.J. Cumbo can extend this 2-out rally for the Spartans.
Should Stephanie be offended or take it as a compliment that she was referred to as precious cargo in the group chat?
If I know Stephanie,
offended?
I think she's offended.
I agree. Though we did get a great photo of you, myself, and Stephanie at the last softball game.
Yes. And despite Steph's smile, she was freezing on the inside.
Grinning ear to ear. Defying the cold. Stephanie smiling in defiance as she does our stats. 1-0 pitch taken high by Cumbo, 2-0.
I'll say this, though. It is a little bit of a breeze tonight, but I am in shorts, and I feel pretty good right now.
It's good to hear.
Feel pretty good.
Cumbo 1 for 3 at the plate tonight. On deck is the only Spartan with multiple hits. That's Anthony DeMarco. And if Kilty misses with one more, DeMarco will bat with the bases loaded and 2 outs. The 3-0. Well, that is one way to take all the way.
I see that a couple of times. Maybe not at the collegiate level, but you'll see the professionals sometimes do that as well.
You will.
They know you have to throw a strike. They're not going to get the green light unless told so you just back off before the pitch is thrown.
A look toward first by Kilty. 3-1 the count. And that one's not close.
That might bring the run home as well.
Runner headed home from third, and there will be no play at the plate. And we've seen some awkward slides tonight, Nick. That one near the top of the list.
Yeah. I'm not sure what maybe he slid on, but even if he was able to at least get the ball without sliding, it would have been the run regardless for the Spartans right there. And they're on the board tonight now.
Yeah, we saw an awkward slide earlier at second base. I think it might have been Jaden Waterman.
Waterman
his
in left
double.
field also had a little bit of a slip as well and made him make a catch.
Yeah, Solero sort of flopped into home plate there.
Yeah. We also saw Michael First as well at one point. Had a little bit of a pitch that he took a bad step on.
That's a jam shot off the bat of Anthony DeMarco. It bounces straight to Romance at first, and he will step on the bag to retire the side. Stack does get on the board via a wild pitch, but Aiden Kilty limits the damage to just 1 run. We head to the bottom half of the 6th inning. Staten Island on top, 13-1. First pitch of the home 6th inning gets to the backstop. Jack Kehoe ahead 1-0.
Well, a lot of clarification for us in that last half inning during the break.
We confirmed that nobody flinched. Stephanie was indeed offended by being called precious cargo. Stephanie, our statistician, Joe, our PA announcer, Lou, our scoreboard operator, having a good time in the booth next door. We're having a good time outside.
Of course.
You'd argue, Nick, for us a much better time. It is much nicer out here, much more room. It's spacious.
Not sweating.
Certainly not. Perfect night for baseball in Pomona. As that's bounced to the right side, it's booted at first, and they will lose the play. That is an error committed by DeCrest. Just had it hit off his glove. Not really sure how he lost it, but Kehoe is on following the error to lead off the bottom of the 6th inning.
And they're facing a new pitcher as well, Joe. Robert Williams, the new pitcher for the Spartans here in this bottom half of the 6th inning.
Well, when you look at how this game is playing out, the Dolphins with the 12-run lead, I don't think you could script a much better opener to a 4-game set if you're any team in the ECC. We mentioned it more than once already this year, but the scheduling's a bit different. I think you could call this next series with the Spartans a bit of a return to normalcy.
Right.
The back-to-back doubleheaders is really tough. I don't know if they do that again in 4 games that will count. They are going to play Mercy 4 times next weekend, but 2 of those games will not count as Waterman hits a towering shot deep left center field and out of here. It's a 2-run blast off the bat of Jaden Waterman. He is now 4 for 4 on the night, and the 3rd Dolphins home run of this game puts them in front 15-1.
Joe, what were you saying earlier about a 3 for 3? There's nothing anything better than that?
Not in 3 at-bats.
How about a 4 for 4 night for Waterman, and he puts an exclamation point on it with a 2-run blast out into left field. It's now a 15-1 CSI lead.
Well, when you think about it, Nick, we thought perhaps that man might bunt earlier. Who needs to bunt?
What scriptwriter told us about bunting?
At the time, it was a 6-run game.
Yes.
That one popped up in foul ground by Ryan Ortega, and it's a 1-pitch out. First out of the inning. Vincent Weigel coming to the plate now, and as we mentioned, Nick, we are on milestone watch.
That's right.
Weigel 2 hits away from 100. Officially, he is listed on the website with 94 hits entering the night, but as we mentioned, he had 2 hits in the suspended game against Queens. So I think that in terms of our official count, Sam is going to credit him with those 2 hits from Queens. And with a couple more, he'll reach 100. Weigel 2 for 3 so far tonight. 3 runs batted in as well. His RBI total beginning to climb in a big way. Entered the evening with 9. Now has 12.
Now, Joe, I think you noticed I was looking at Jaden Waterman's stats as that one's a base hit at the left field for Weigel. He's 1 away, Joe. What do you think? No, I'm kidding.
We think. We know. And Sam, we trust, right?
That's right. That's right.
Wrong.
Ouch.
In Joe, we trust.
So the reason I brought up Jaden Waterman, he had a home run right there. His only home run last season at the same facility at St. Thomas Aquinas. So he likes his ballpark a lot.
Sure does. And that was another one that was not cheap. And speaking of Sam, she's back up here. He hit it straight to the 408 mark in left
That's right.
center.
Yeah, I'm trying to read out
Do you
what
think she's about to tell me he's 1 away?
No.
Okay. Heading to the booth. Brandon Bardick at the plate here, takes outside for ball 1.
Now, is the reason she didn't say it because you said it out loud, so maybe
No.
she didn't want to? Or
No, she's not paying attention.
Okay.
Not to us.
That might be for the best.
Probably. You know, Nick, it's a 14-run game. Foreman in a 14-run game.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you never know what you're going to get. I'm full of surprises.
You really don't know.
In the lopsided games, you never know what you're going to hear, so you definitely want to stay tuned.
You know what? I'll exit now since we have at this point. I'll exit after the next pitch.
And we haven't yet commented on the delivery of Williams.
Yes, very interesting delivery.
Yeah, that is a
quick-
lot of movement.
Yeah, it's a very quick movement as well.
It's almost as if he snaps the ball to the plate.
Yeah. Now, did you get, by chance, happen to watch the broadcast last night on Netflix?
No, I did not.
Okay. I think you would have been appalled by what happened on the entire
Really? Appalled?
for the pregame, at
That's a
least of it.
strong word, Nick.
By
Why
the
would I be appalled?
I think just the aspect and what they did in the pregame, it didn't really feel like
Well, they aired the pregame.
right. But
Our pregame from softball did not air.
well,
Continue.
anyway, they had a thing from whatchamacallit, the Avs family, and now the Wednesday series. They threw that throughout the first pitch. They had a wrestler that you and I don't like do the ceremonial, play ball.
Okay.
They had Bert Kaiser, the comedian, just talking about the two teams, which, let's be honest, he probably had no idea what the two teams were in terms of their team history. He probably was just told beforehand.
Okay.
I think the only good thing that happened last night, as there's a strikeout, another very delayed strike 3 call.
Bardick retired for the first time tonight as he goes down looking.
The only thing I liked last night was
the result.
Well, obviously the result too, but they had Jameis Winston off for a little bit doing some, not color commentary, but he was a reporter around the stadium, and they had to do some side quests, and that was funny. But I think if you watch the pregame or just saw some of the stuff they were doing, you would just be saying, "What is this? This is not baseball. It's not not what I'm accustomed to."
So when you have games on a streaming platform like a Netflix, a little bit less so Peacock, but
it's more than
definitely
Netflix because it was their debut.
Yeah, when you put sporting events on Netflix, you run the risk of turning them into ads for the different productions on Netflix.
And that's exactly what they were doing.
And that's exactly what happened. And that's part of the reason that they enter into those deals to do that. I think you're entering an era now, Nick, where cable is very nearly obsolete.
Yeah.
There is no game that you need cable to view anymore.
I think the only thing I realistically watch on cable is Red Zone during the NFL season, but that and even that you can still stream it.
You can stream at this point. There are so many deals for NFL Sunday Ticket that if you're a football fan and don't have it, I don't really know what you're doing.
Right.
You can pay under $300 and get every game for the entire season,
right,
including Red Zone, under $300. And I think on a cable bill, Red Zone can run $20 or $30 a month, as that's grounded to short. And they'll go the short way to second to get the out there. Dolphins will score 2 in the 6th inning. They now lead it by 15. It's a 2-run blast off the bat of Jaden Waterman to extend the Dolphins' lead to 14 runs. And we're back for the 7th inning from Pomona. The Dolphins with a 14-run lead over St. Thomas Aquinas College. Matthew Podesta getting his first at-bat of the night in a pinch-hitting role. Takes low and outside for ball 1. And Nick, in a 14-run game, it's definitely a good possibility that the Spartans begin to get some players' opportunities off the bench. Some late game at bats. You and I can continue to rant about the lack of necessity for cable television.
And rant about some of the streaming services at this point,
Well,
I guess.
You know, when I'm watching a sports game, especially opening day, I don't want that broadcast to become an ad.
Right.
And
that was the problem I had with it. I just wanted to watch baseball, not have to deal with
those days.
Like, I get it. Like Netflix, in a way, I understand what they're doing. They're trying to promote their shows because it's their first broadcast baseball game-wise. But it's just not the right crowd to do it.
The way I look at it, Nick, everything is becoming so commercialized. You're moving away from cable television, and I think when you're moving away from cable television, the product placements, more so the branding on the field than product placements, but you get the Microsoft Surface with the NFL, and you get ads all over the place. You look at WWE as that swung on and missed by Podesta for strike 3, ads in the ring. On last night's broadcast, you have ads all over the field. I was watching the Mets game today.
Right.
They had 3 different sponsors on the field at once.
I saw they had, what was it, the Mountain Dew? I think it was on the Netflix one last night. There was like a little Mountain Dew on the mound.
They're everywhere.
And it's
they're
because I think they have a deal with Mountain Dew. I think it's if a player hits a home run, I think it's 420 feet they have to hit it.
Mm-hmm.
You get 5 free Mountain Dews for the entire year, I think it is, or something. It's
5 for a year?
Yeah, I think
5 a day?
No, I think you only have 5 opportunities the entire year to claim it.
Okay, that doesn't seem like a very great.
It's not a good offer.
Is it?
It's not a good.
Now it's for the whole audience.
Yeah, I think
okay,
so.
well, that's a pretty good offer.
I can look
I
it
got
up and clarify, but
okay,
I saw people complaining
Well,
about it. They were happy about it at first, and then they realized there was a limit.
okay. Well, for the entire audience to get a free drink, not bad.
Yeah, let me see if I can find it.
Yeah. I think what's happening, Nick, is when you're moving the broadcasts away from cable and not running commercials during the live streams, at least not at the rate you would on television, you're making up for that promotion and ad revenue elsewhere. Okay, so the promotion, now we're giving some free exposure to soft drinks. All right.
But you see what I'm saying.
It's limited to certain days and 5 free drinks over the course of the program.
Right.
Got it. So Podesta quickly retired. McCormick quickly retired. And I'm assuming Joe announced the new pinch hitter off the pronunciation guide. Let's see how he did. Oof. He did not get that right. Nick Bambaco, the batter.
What did he say?
I think he said Bombeso. I mean, this is written Bambaco. And I trust Brad. And Brad we trust.
That's true. I bet
Wrong. And Joe we trust, Nick. Come on. I got you twice.
You got me twice. Oh, we did meet.
No.
Oh,
Sam and Brad do a great job.
Yeah, I met Brad last year, of course, during the softball tournament.
And what nickname did I give him?
That's a while ago, Joe. There's no way I'm going to remember.
How could you forget Giga Brad?
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're
so
right.
good.
I gotta
Good.
I gotta write that down.
So good.
I gotta write that down. I apologize to Brad if he's watching.
You might not have to. I don't know if he accepted it, but it was bestowed upon him.
Why wouldn't you want that name, though?
I agree. I thought it was great. That one fouled away. Count 2-2 now. We had a lot of fun covering the ECC softball tournament last year. It will be the responsibility of the host this year. I believe that is the top-seeded team in softball, and baseball will be in Rockville Center at Malloy. At least we know where we have to go if the Dolphins get there, and you and I may have to find a seat behind the outfield wall, and we can do an audio broadcast perhaps. Those are a lot easier. We just throw on 2 USB headsets, and we're good to go, as that's taken for ball 4.
What if there's another boat show that week?
There's another boat show. Move over, boat show. There's a bigger show in town.
Or we could use one of the boats and broadcast it from there.
That would be something. I don't know. I have a lot of towing power in my new vehicle once we get it. So, for those who haven't been following the ongoing vehicle saga of Nick and I.
It's been a rough couple months.
It's been a tumultuous time for us, as that pitch is taken for a strike. 0-1 on Charlie Cordisco. Cordisco 1 for 2 at the plate. But, Nick, for those who haven't followed, of course, you were in a pretty serious car accident late in basketball season. Still trying to get that sorted out, as that one's going to drop down the line for a base hit. And they will hold Mbako at third. It's a 2-out single for Charlie Cordisco. And the Spartans now have runners on the corners with 2 away, but your vehicle was damaged beyond repair in an accident late during basketball season. My engine failed early in baseball softball season, and it appears likely that I'm going to travel down to Florida to get my new vehicle, take the road trip back up the East Coast during the week in the next several days, and I'll be back in time for our coverage next weekend.
I've done that. I mean, I personally haven't done that drive. I've done it with family. They've driven to Florida, but it's a lengthy drive.
It was 21 hours.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And I think the plan is to depart Wednesday afternoon, Thursday morning, and to get back on, I think I need to be back by Saturday.
And where would you stay over? And I'm assuming you
Well,
would,
the
you would
plan
stop at
was
some
to
point.
spend a day in the Carolinas
Yeah.
and a day in Virginia.
Okay.
We'll see how that goes. I think that spaces it out pretty well. I think the Carolinas were about 10 hours. So that's a long day of driving on Thursday. Maybe you split it between Thursday and Friday. You do 5 Thursday night or 5 on Thursday, and then the rest Friday morning. We'll see. It's a wait-and-see approach.
Right.
That pitch taken off the outside. Alex Solero at the plate. Ahead 3-1. Runners on the corners. 2 outs here in the road 7th. But this game appears to have gotten away from the Spartans. They would need a monumental rally to make this one the Dolphins would have to sweat out. And that does miss for ball 4. So, Nick, I believe this is the 3rd straight inning, or 2 out of the last 3 the Spartans have loaded the bases.
I believe so, yeah.
Is it 2 out of the last 3 or the last 3?
I think it's 2 out of the last
You have
3.
to go to the play-by-play. I think it's 3 out of the last 3, Nick.
Yeah. Yep.
What a memory I have. I did not have the box score in front of me. 3 straight innings, they've loaded the bases. Nick is the keeper of the live stats. Mine are a bit more than an arm's length away. And once you're more than an arm's length, I'm really comfortable up here. So the live stats will stay to my left. At the plate now, another pinch hitter, Ethan Antonor. Bats with the bases loaded. He takes high and outside. It's 1-1. It's Ethan Antonori at the plate. Didn't go to the pronunciation guide. Amateur move. The 1-1. Fouled off.
Wow.
Keelty 1 strike away from stranding the bases loaded.
Thought for a second that maybe you would ricochet back. But
Well,
did not.
we know a thing or two about a ricocheting foul ball. Yankee Stadium, final series of the regular season. Second deck, foul ball, ricochets. Sam Whalen with the snag.
I was going to say, I wouldn't know.
You were at the concession stand, Nick.
Yeah,
you chose the wrong time.
Fortunate timing.
It's okay. We all got to sign it. Well, not all of us, but we're working on that.
Not all of us.
We're not going to name names, but we had some staffers who have refused to sign the baseball.
But why, though?
Well, I can tell you why. It's because I signed it and put underneath in quotation marks CFO.
Oh, okay, yep.
And as a result, some staff have refused to sign the law. We're working on it. That one fouled away again.
Wow, if you were sitting there the entire time, you would have thought to yourself, I'm perfectly okay.
If I was sitting there, I would have caught it. Count even at 2 on Antonori. Keelty now 1 strike away from a scoreless 7th. The 2-2. Up and away.
Here comes the merry-go-round.
Nick, I think the question becomes, we really can't move the microphone to the mixer, but does Steph join us out here on Sunday?
Well,
I finally got the day right anyway.
What's the weather? Well, that's true.
And are you here? Will you be here to be joined? Merry-go-round in motion, as you mentioned. It's pop-up. Shallow center. Vera loses the hat and has the baseball. That will do it for the Spartans in the 7th. Stack strands the bases loaded, and the Dolphins maintain a 15-1 lead. Michael Flashner will lead off the home 7th inning. The Dolphins on top 15-1.
Looks like another new pitcher as well, Joe, for the Spartans.
Not according to the live stats, but I think they're going to get that updated momentarily.
I'm judging that based off the windup.
You're right. You're right. I think they have the binoculars in the booth.
We should hope.
And they just updated it. Zachary Rometto is the new pitcher. Now,
pronunciation.
Well, I see T-O-W, and I think
Toe.
it is toe, but
Yeah.
I don't know. When you see it like this, you want to say Tau, even though you know it's wrong.
Yeah.
T-O-E would suffice.
Yeah.
3-1 the count, and thankfully that one clears us.
Yeah, that was ahead, literally on a
By a
line
bit.
for us.
Yeah. I'll tell you, that laser beam that was hit up here earlier.
Yeah, I'm still thinking about it.
If I was ever going to flinch, that might have been the time.
We need to bring our glove up here.
Like I said the other day, there are more than one words that begin with F that are not acceptable on this broadcast, and flinch is the top of the list. The other one's one below.
Yeah, of course.
Flinch is one, and then that other word is
well, let's not. Yeah, let's not say it.
fun.
Yeah, of course.
We have plenty of fun.
I think the best was Sam thinking. I mentioned this to you off the air. I might have said it on the air too, but how my favorite part of the entire thing was Sam apologizing, but then he didn't realize his microphone. He thought the entire time his mic was muted, and he said, "Am I back on?"
We had to put him in timeout. He flinched. Chopper down the third base line.
Fair ball.
Fair ball. Long throw. In time to get romance. 2 away in the inning. The microphone is quite low.
It is very. Yeah,
I think it's where we are, Nick. These speakers could be off.
It's that, or the dial could maybe be a little bit higher on the mix.
I don't know about that. I heard him loud and clear from the outfield.
Okay.
I heard him better from the outfield than I hear him from right here.
It could be from here.
It could just be these speakers are off.
Yeah.
Though I find that highly unlikely. Yandel Brito at the plate. 0 for 3 tonight. A rare 0 for. Still hitting over 400 coming into the evening. And that one's grounded to short. Throw to first in time, and it's a very quick 1-2-3 inning for Zachary Rometto. Spartans come to bat in the 8th inning. When we come back, they trail 15-1. Top of the 8th inning from Clover Stadium in Pomona.
Joe catching his breath, trying to come back from the
I
press
had to
box
hustle.
row.
I had to hustle. I was coordinating the breakdown and letting our crew know that we're on milestone watch as it's a leadoff base hit into center field for Ryan Hillary. Leadoff base runner for the Spartans here in the 8th. C.J. Cumbo is the man due up, and indeed he will hit for himself. So Spartans did send up several pinch hitters during their last turn through the batting order. Cumbo making his 4th plate appearance here, and he takes a breaking ball strike, 0-1. Who made the final out for the Dolphins, Nick? Brito?
Yes.
Okay, so the Dolphins would have to get a base runner to get Vincent Weigel a chance at his 100th career hit.
Of Weigel.
And speaking of Weigel, he starts the 5-4-3 double play. Leadoff base runner quickly erased. 2 gone in the road 8th inning.
Speak of his name, and he appears, Joe. Double play turn by Weigel.
Wouldn't it be something if he got his 100th hit and did the quick turn?
I kind of hope he does now.
Our wrestling fans would get the reference.
Yeah. We make too many of those.
You know, it's a bit more acceptable during a baseball broadcast, I would suspect, and I could be wrong.
Yeah.
As that's grounded to second, Flashner's got it.
It's a lightning quick inning for Kilty.
DeMarco retired on 1 pitch. Kilty faces the minimum, helped along by a 5-4-3 double play. He's back to the dugout with his team leading 15-1. Jack Kehoe to the plate for the Dolphins to begin the home 8th inning, and he fouls that one straight back. And, Nick, I have to say, we've done the best we could given the circumstances. Looking at that camera angle with how wide that is just doesn't make me feel good.
It is what it is at this point.
Yeah.
You did the best you could.
Well, now we know. As Kehoe hits one well deep to left field.
Opposite
That ball's
field.
carrying toward the wall, and it's off the fence. Kehoe headed for second, and he is in standing with a leadoff double.
He was mere inches away, Joe, from an opposite field home run. We've seen him do that a couple times already over his Dolphins tenure, his career. He was very close on that one.
Right off the Dominican University of New York sign. I was told that the reason we can't leave our equipment behind is Dominican plays here tomorrow night.
Right.
And now, Jaden Waterman will come to the plate.
And that gives Vincent Weigel an opportunity potentially in this inning.
It looks like he may get that chance for 100 career hits. Waterman has a chance to go 5 for 5. Nick, why don't you pull up the record books and see if a Dolphin has ever gone 5 for 5 at the D2 level? I feel like it has to have been done once.
You would think, right?
Well, it's not that many seasons. I would suspect it's happened once. It may have happened last year.
Did it?
In the Mercy game, you think anyone had 5 hits? As
Oh,
that goes to the backstop. I mean, that was an 18-16 game.
Yeah.
But has the Dolphin ever gone 5 for 5? All right, so to get this to open, you might have to refresh it once. Sometimes it just doesn't boot. There you go. 1-1 the count on Waterman. Kehoe has now moved up to third.
I had the wrong thing again. I'll get it in a second.
Okay. Swing and a miss by Waterman, 1 and 2.
What do you have to hit to get the hits again? To type
Well,
it
you
in?
have to find it. Oh, it's Command F.
Command F.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm still not tech savvy with that.
All right, that's hits in a season, so skip that. You could hit the arrow and skip it.
Right.
Yep. And another wild pitch allows Kehoe to score. Nick and I combing through the record books here. Dolphins now lead 16-1. And Vincent Weigel will get that at bat now.
It's not, for some reason, put me to that.
Let me see. Okay. Definitely not working
Because
properly.
it's not sacrifice hits.
What we have to do, we need single game records.
That's 10 to 11.
That is
15 to 17.
15 to 17. Pages are numbered in the bottom right.
Look out. That one sailed.
Okay. That's no.
There you go. Was that it? Was that it right there?
I passed it. There we go. All right. Not only has it happened, it has happened
Multiple.
4 times. However, it does not say whether or not the player went 5 for 5. Did it happen last year? Yes, it did. Chris Palomini against this stacked Spartans team had 5 hits. Meanwhile, Waterman reaches for a 5th time. Did not reach via base hit.
So he'll officially finish with a 4 for 4 day with the walk as well.
You certainly hope so. Unless you bat around.
Hope I'm not assuming.
Unless you bat around.
Why would I assume?
We know better. But I said it earlier in the night, Nick. If you're the Dolphins, you could not script a better opener to a 4-game set. I think if you were playing back-to-back doubleheaders, this would be an even better start than it already is.
Yeah,
but
no question.
A win's a win, and it's an important win because Stack took both games last time you faced them. Now you take the field in 2 days, not tomorrow, as I've said so many times already.
There you go.
You know, my clock has shifted in all different directions. But you take the field on Saturday, and you have a chance to take the lead in the season series. So that's a big 2-game set coming up. And if you're the Dolphins, there's a very real chance that you're only going to use 2 pitchers in this game. They may want to get another arm some work in the 9th. There is action in the bullpen. Trying to get a look at who's throwing. We'll get back to that.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Chopper to third. Slowly hit and no chance for a double play. They do get the out at second as Waterman is forced out. Ortega replaces him at first, and now Vincent Weigel will come to bat with a chance for a milestone 100th career hit.
Do you think the team knows?
I think they might not know only because the Queens game is not officially recorded yet in terms of statistics. So if you're being technical, as that's going down as a passed ball, over to second goes Ortega. But technically, if you're being super picky about it, he doesn't officially reach 100 with this hit because the Queens game is not officially scored yet. It's not complete. But we know. We know.
We know.
We know. That game's going to be concluded next time the Dolphins meet the Knights. I think
I
that's
think it's the 17th
3 weeks.
of April, yeah.
About 3 weeks. Ground ball.
There it is.
Up the middle, and that's number 100 for Vincent Weigel.
And it's an RBI.
It's an RBI single for Weigel. That is his 4th hit of the night, and he certainly knows that is a milestone base hit for the Dolphins senior.
4 for 5 night for Weigel. Dolphins just continuing with a impressive showing tonight here at the plate, Joe, and an impressive milestone for Weigel right there. 100 career hits. Maybe the team knows.
I think they got him the baseball, and given the reaction,
Yeah, I think so.
Given the reaction at first base and the embrace he shared with his first base coach, Sandy Ulaj, I think they knew. That one taken high and inside by Brandon Bardick, 1-0.
Another 18 runs of baseball. What's Sunday got in store?
What's the lowest scoring game that we've covered this year?
That is a great question.
I think it might be 13-4, the second game against Uville. Since you and I have paired up, we've had 34, 19, 36, 17, and now 18. The 2 games Sam and I did, what were the scores of those against Caldwell? Those were lower.
8-7 and
8-7 and 6-2.
I might just have that effect.
Maybe. That one taken inside. It's 3-1.
I was a scriptwriter that was looking for an offensive slugfest.
That's right.
How many more times are we going to get away with that bit?
Well, if you know, you know. I think Bardick.
I am very confused as well.
Weigel's jogging over to second base. I don't know if he realizes that.
Well, Barrick's still batting.
Did they just let him take second base now?
I don't know.
I would assume so.
I also had a 3-1 count.
Well, I think that was a called strike 2.
I don't think so, Joe.
Okay. Call the ball.
Balk.
Oh, balk.
There you go.
Okay, got it.
How do we not know? Matt knows.
Matt knows.
He always knows.
Always knows. Always knows. He's the boss. He always knows. And I think we might be getting a pitching change here, Nick.
Yeah, I
a
believe
pitching
so.
change with 1 out in the home 8th inning. So the balk moves Weigel up to second. Bardick draws the walk, and the Spartans go to the bullpen. Our score, Staten Island 17 and Stack 1. Dolphins threatening for more here in the 8th. Jamel Vera at the plate, hits one high in the air and deep to right center.
That's gone,
and
Joe.
that ball is out of here. It's a 3-run homer for Jamel Vera, his second of the night. And the Dolphins have reached the 20-run mark. They're in front, 20-1.
Well, Matt Vasgersian called the game last night, Joe. I'll pay it on to him right here. First pitch swinging, first pitch crushing right there. Jamel Vera, no doubt about it, out into right field. No chance whatsoever. Dolphins with a 20 spot tonight. They lead it 20-1. His second 3-run homer of the evening.
And how about this power out of the leadoff spot, Nick? You don't often get the glove, the power, and the speed that Jamel Vera has provided out of that leadoff spot. And the Dolphins have gotten a tremendous start out of their leadoff hitter, both in the field and at the plate. Also a threat on the base paths, a true 5-tool player, Nick.
He now has 3 home runs on the season, with now adding 6 RBIs to his already 11, 17 on the year. As you mentioned, a very good base runner, 6 for 9 in the year coming into the night.
Well, we said it, Nick. This Dolphins team can score with any team in the ECC. It comes down to limiting the number of outs you have to get from the bullpen, and they got exactly what they needed from Mikey First tonight. Aiden Keelty out of the bullpen, taking care of business as well. And Flashner quickly strikes out, but they've been able to avoid the big inning that has plagued them all season long, and I think Flashner may have taken exception to something that was said by the Stack dugout.
Perhaps.
I don't know if he was talking to the umpire about
I saw that
call
too. I wasn't certain.
or something that was said, but 1 away now in the home 8th inning.
2 away now.
Live stats just a bit behind.
Just a bit.
Just a bit. Jason Romance at the plate. And wouldn't it be something? Remember that chant from softball the other day?
Oh, no. Oh, no. 2-2.
All aboard?
There's a train.
He gave that ball a ride in his last at-bat, that's for sure.
They got to find a way to get the train to the field and then maybe go around the bases.
You know what? That should be the home run trolley.
That should be.
The home run trolley, we have our crew each having their own cabin.
Yeah, why not?
That would be something.
That would be incredible.
I wonder if we could use it to travel around the complex and easily break down our equipment.
Do we do the shameless plug?
They are a sponsor.
They are a sponsor.
They are. You know what? I'll do it.
Go ahead.
Let me have the phone quickly.
Yep.
The Dolphins have scored 20 runs. It's our time to remind you that our great sponsor, McDonald's, offers a 20-piece Chicken McNuggets package for just $5.
You know what? Good job, Lou.
As Romance lines a base hit into left field. So thank you to our scoreboard operator, Louis Matrone, for that reminder. You can get a 20-piece McNuggets for just $5?
Yeah.
That sounds pretty good to me, Nick.
I might be making my way there after we're back from CSI. It's going to be very late, though.
Do we take a trip through the drive-thru before we go back?
I'm not saying no.
McDonald's on Richmond Avenue, Nick, used to have a Nintendo 64 console in that lobby.
I remember that, yes.
Do you remember that?
Yes, of course.
Yep, I used to play on that Nintendo 64. Yandel Brito at the plate takes a strike, 0-1.
I felt like those were my first introduction to video games, in a way.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Nintendo 64 was my second console. I had Sega Genesis for a year and then got Nintendo 64.
I think I went with the original Xbox, and then it was PS2, and then GameCube. Those are my first official introductions.
My arc was a line drive into the glove of Cumbo at third. That was a rocket shot down the line. Not much arc on that ball, Nick.
No.
And
There
the
was on
Dolphins,
this one, though.
It sure was. The Dolphins score 5 more here in the home 8th inning. They lead it by 19. Our score, Staten Island 20 and Stack 1. Ninth inning from Clover Stadium. Dolphins lead it 20-1. And
He killed the for a fourth inning of work, Joe.
Nick, I'd say this is a season high in runs for the Dolphins. That would be true.
Yes.
It is not a season high
for us
in runs for any team that we've seen so far calling a game this year. How close have the Dolphins come to 20 in a game this year? I think, is the season high the 12 or 13? Yeah, it didn't happen in Myrtle, that I can tell you. I think the season high was the 13 in the game against Duville, yeah. 12 and 13 last two games. So Dolphins with a season high in runs tonight. It's a very quick first out as Matthew Podesta goes down on strikes. One away here in the ninth inning. Christopher Merrill will get an at-bat here. Took over in right field. Question is, did Steph get those changes via binoculars or were they passed along to her?
I don't know. Doubt that.
That's a great question. She's the best.
Yeah.
She got back in my good graces after refusing to transport our backdrop. Do you know how?
When was that?
It was during basketball.
Obviously, yeah.
Do you know how she got back in my good graces?
No.
So
You might have told me.
in our staff room, there's a whiteboard with a calendar on it.
Okay.
And somehow she knew my birthday.
Okay.
I could probably figure that she knew it from hearing it on the broadcast. Calabrese can't get enough.
Or the stars were aligning for Calabrese to say it.
Maybe. But where my birthday is listed on the calendar, it just has three letters.
Oh,
The three most devastating letters in all of athletic communications. CFO.
Another wrestling plug, huh?
Yeah.
That's it's a good type of name for a finisher.
Those who don't realize I go by that title on occasion are very confused, but by putting that on the whiteboard, she got back on my good side. That one grounded foul, and the count is 2-2 on Merrill. Aiden Keelty out for a fourth inning of relief, came on in the sixth after Mikey First hit the first batter he faced on the first pitch of the at-bat in that inning. And there's a line drive base hit into left for Merrill.
Now, the question I have for you, Joe, is in the spot that he came in, it was, what, a 9-run game still at that point?
In the top of the sixth inning, the Dolphins led by, I think, 13. It was 13-0.
13, okay.
13-0.
So he probably isn't in line for a 4-inning save.
No.
No, right?
No.
I'm just asking a question.
No.
Did that hit him?
I thought perhaps it did, but
it hit the plate. That's what the thud was.
That was quite the thud. You could hear that from up here, Nick.
Yeah. I thought for a second maybe hit him on the top of the cleat, but it looks like it just hit the home plate. It took a wicked bounce behind the plate.
Nick Mbako at the plate here. Walked his first time up. Has a chance for an RBI as Keelty all of a sudden has spiked the last two. I'll tell you, Nick, for a 21-run affair, there was a chance coming into this inning that we clock in under 3 hours.
Yeah. You're right.
There's a big swing and a miss. That was a home run cut right there.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're a left-handed batter in the final inning of a 19-run game, why not?
Especially where, it's friendly towards right-handed batters, I would say, for the most part.
I'll tell you, Nick, if there's power, I could definitely get behind calling a game from right field. That one knocked down by Romance, but he could not secure it. And that's going to be an error on the Dolphins' first baseman. In to score is Merrill. And the Spartans are on the board for the first time since the sixth inning. It's 20-2.
Now, where in right field would you say?
Well, you can see the tables with
I see it.
the seating available. We could actually sit on the tabletop with our feet resting on the actual seats, and
Yep.
then we bring a high table in front of us to put the laptop down.
Me too.
That one could have ended the game. Flashner goes to first and gets an out there.
Spartans certainly.
That was the right call.
Yeah.
Flashner had double play on his mind and almost failed to get an out. Stacked down to their final out. Last chance for the Spartans, Alex Solero. He's 0 for 2. Has reached on a walk. And the first pitch misses low and away, 1-0.
And I know you already mentioned our schedule for baseball this week. We also have softball on Saturday as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Sure do. You and I on the call Saturday. The Dolphins back home. The Dolphins open conference play tomorrow against Queens. I'll be tuning into that doubleheader. Look towards second by Keelty, and the 2-0 pitch is in for a strike. Dolphins have Malloy at home on Saturday in softball.
You'll have to keep me informed of softball in terms of that scoring tomorrow.
Yes, only one of us can watch at a time.
Oh, actually, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's also true. I thought about the timing of the game, but it's
Okay.
earlier, obviously.
Big swing and a miss there by Solero, and the Spartans are down to their final strike.
I've got another game to win tomorrow night, Joe. I've got another game to win tomorrow night.
You consider yourself a part of the team.
I
St.
might as well.
John's.
I've seen the bad
Yeah.
times and the good times.
I don't know. Road trip? I have a lot of fan cash.
I wish.
That's taken up and away.
The money's just unfortunately not there right now, and after having to spend more money on another car, yeah, not good.
It's once in a lifetime. This one's on
I
Fanatics.
know.
This one's on Fanatics. For those who don't know, Fanatics Platinum member. And there's a deep fly ball to center, but Vera has it lined up, and he will make the catch to end the ball game. It is a big win for the College of Staten Island. They knock off St. Thomas Aquinas 20-2. The final line, the Dolphins 20 runs on 19 hits, 1 error. The Spartans 2 runs on 10 hits, 1 error. Nick, it was a bit of a rocky start for us on the air, but we thank everyone who stuck with us throughout the rest of the evening. We should have been good from about the third inning forward. This series between the Dolphins and Spartans will continue on Saturday with a doubleheader. Those 2 games will be stack home games. The Dolphins then host one more home game right back here at Clover Stadium on Sunday. I will be on that call pending the result of the St. John's game.
Nick
I
might be with
may or may not join me, but Nick, you get the final thoughts tonight.
An incredible performance tonight from this Dolphins offense, Joe. And I think that's something that we've seen all year from this team. It's still carrying over. Every single game that I've seen so far, they have just continued to score at will, and no matter who's scoring at will, it's been high-scoring affairs. If I'm back with you on Sunday, we'll see if that narrative stays the same. But a huge win for CSI. They get their 3rd conference win of the year. They'll have 2 more games on Saturday, and then this series wraps up on Sunday evening.
A lot of runs on the board tonight. 20 of the 22 belonging to the College of Staten Island. It's a huge win for the Dolphins in conference play.